Boo, boo, boo.
And we're back.
Woo.
Abby and Kat were born in 1997 and became best friends when they were 6. Grew up together and started a band and bonded over music ever since. 20 years later, they are all grown up and spend their free time analyzing lyrics. Now here they are talking all about their Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Taylor, if you're listening, we love you.
Welcome to Swiftler Podcast, where we dive into lyrics and lore of our Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Absolutely. That's why we are here. I practiced that on the way over.
I'm fully blindsided. I am bewildered. I am not in a place to do a British accent mentally or physically.
I just wanted to do a bit so bad.
No, it's a very good bit. It's so good that I'm sad I can't match it. But I'm Kat.
I'm Abby. I'm not going to do an accent the whole episode.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that at the end of because I was listening to our episode last week, and at one point I did a British accent, and luckily I don't think it was when we were on the call with Hannah, who has an actual British accent.
There was one part where I said mental illness in it, and the reason why I said that was because that's an inside joke we have.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hope she doesn't think I'm making fun of her.
I think it's an insult joke.
It's an insult.
It's an inside joke that we have because the internet has it, and
okay.
I just brought you to the.
Yeah, you know I'm offline.
She's very offline.
But anyway,
Abby touches so much grass.
it's all I do these days. So the reason why I did that bit was because we're talking about London.
We're covering a couple London songs to celebrate the end of the Europe run of the Eras Tour shows. Mm-hmm. So I am covering Come Back Be Here.
I'm covering London Boy.
And we love a London boy, if by boy you mean girl. Exception, Joseph Quinn.
Okay, so you're calling me out then.
Yeah, it wasn't about me.
Call me out.
No offense, Joseph Quinn. I'm sure you're lovely, but I'm still a lesbian.
I sent Kat a video of Joseph Quinn the other day. What is this text thread? I think I saved it because I thought it was so funny. Where I was just like, I fear that I'm in love with a white man named Joe, just like Taylor Swift predicted in the prophecy.
And then I was just like, there's worse Joes to be in love with. And I was thinking about Joe Biden. Abby was thinking about
Joe Jonas.
Joe who?
Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas. Both of us had our... I also will say that I did fully forget about Joe Alwyn during that entire exchange.
Oh, really?
I didn't even think about the missingness of Joe Alwyn until you just said it now.
There's too many Joes. There's just so many.
Have they considered getting a name that's not Joe?
Have they considered it? I don't know.
Can't they just rock, paper, scissors it out and they're just one Joe?
Oh man,
it's the ultimate Joe down.
It's like the Hunger Games, but for guys named Joe. We're starting off. We're really so chaotic
as you
already.
can see, we're both doing so mentally well, and we're so well rested, and we're just so chill and cool.
So chill and cool. I've got nothing going on in this head of mine. We'll see what happens. But her London shows were great. She covered So Long London, and it was beautiful.
She did. She once again did not announce her FTV. Maybe she will at the VMAs.
I swear.
I think before the VMAs, I'm actually going to Amazon Prime some. That sounded very ad-like. I didn't like that. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Have you heard about this thing called Amazon Prime?
Sorry, it's because I want to overnight clown noses. I'm sorry that there's no other services that I know of personally that would overnight me clown noses to my door so I don't have to go be seen buying them in public.
Here's a concept. You just get them now because it's going to happen. We're going to be clowning again.
But what if I buy them? I'm going to buy them. Let me say that now. What if I buy them and then it doesn't happen? Or it does happen.
It does happen? Then we just got fun little clown noses.
Then we have the clown noses for debut TV.
Yes. And also for life.
And also for life.
Do we have any other updates?
Oh, Taylor Nation, by the time this episode goes up, this won't probably be happening anymore, but Taylor Nation was giving away free Eras Tour tickets earlier today to people who completed all the beads. So I immediately went back and completed all the beads. And then once I had the beads, I privated all the videos again. I was working and I was just going through, and it was because each one you had to make a video for. Oh. So I was just hitting record and doing work.
I don't know anything about this.
So basically it was every week for the last 11 or 12 weeks. I think it was since the start of like the European leg of the tour. There was like a challenge each week where you could like earn a bead for your friendship bracelet for being a Swiftie. And it was like all the different albums. And then it ended this week. And once you got all of them, you got this thing that's like certified Swiftie. And it had a little letter with like a note from Taylor and like a little profile frame on TikTok. And then Taylor
cute.
Nation was like commenting, being like, oh my God, love this. Check your DMs.
Whoa.
So that's very fun.
That is very fun. Aw.
Unfortunately, I did not get a DM, but it's fine. I feel very normal about it.
The longest sigh of all time I just made.
Because you're like, damn it, if you didn't get tickets, because obviously I would bring you.
Oh, thank you.
Imagine if I didn't.
You brought Joe Quinn.
Listen, if I asked Joe Quinn, he said yes. Unfortunately, I would have to take him, but
I would understand.
You would be out there too.
You would be there too. Now you're going full Christmas
you would
tree
be
farm.
there too. I mean, the concert's in November.
Oh, that's true. It would be appropriate and applicable.
Anyways.
Okay, we have to get on track.
We must. I don't have that many. Mine isn't going to be that long.
I think this is going to be a light week, you guys. So I hope you're here for the giggles, because that's what we got.
We got gigs.
We got gigs for days. My accent might slip out again. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
London Boy. Alrighty. I did these notes so long ago, and so it's another Black Dog situation. I have no idea what's in here.
Just going in blind.
I'm going to I know I overshare for reasons that you're aware of.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. London Boy is the 11th track from Taylor's 7th studio album, Lover. It's a Swiftonoff production along with Soundwave, which she's done a couple other songs with. I can't remember what. First performed at BBC Radio 1 Live Lounge in 2019. Also at the Capital Cities 2019 Jingle Bell Ball. And it was a surprise song at the Eras Tour on August 16th, 2024 in Wembley, London.
Slay.
Was
it mashed up with anything?
I don't recall.
Fair enough.
There were a lot of connections to So Long London, which, makes sense. They both have London in the title.
The London of it all.
So there you go. Here's another fun thing that I read, and I fact-checked this because I was like, is it true? Because you never know with Wikipedia. So you know how Taylor Swift was in Cats. I'm sure we all like to forget about that.
As we all know and are well aware at all times.
I never forget. So Cats, her co-stars, Idris Elba and James Corden, are heard at the beginning of the song. So that's Idris from the Late Show with James Corden saying, we can go driving on my scooter. And apparently James Corden goes, oh. I can't hear the O personally.
I choose to believe that the O isn't there because I think James Corden is annoying.
Once another James that's on your
James
list.
on my shit list. He made Michael Clifford from 5 Seconds of Summer uncomfortable when they were on the show, and I hold that grudge.
Never.
It's been like a decade, and I hold that grudge.
No one's allowed to make Michael Clifford uncomfortable. Anyway.
Not on my watch.
It's like your side gig. You just make sure he's comfortable at all times.
It's been very hard since he has a newborn.
Oh God, that bit's not even funny. I'm just laughing at everything.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Whoa.
Shakespeare is really on one today. She's like going crazy. She's been barking all day.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's rolling around right now. So if you hear her, that's what's up. This song contains an interpolation of the song Cold War by the American singer Cautious Clay. A song written by Cautious Clay in 2017 after he attended the annual Coney Island Mermaid Parade in Brooklyn. I didn't look up pronouns for Cautious Clay. I'm going to use they, them. So they were really surprised that Taylor wanted to use their song because they didn't know each other at all.
Yeah, I mean, also if Taylor Swift wanted to use my song randomly, I too would be like, what? Why?
No, literally. It's actually the second artist ever to be interpolated in one of Taylor's songs after Look What You Made Me Do. Because I guess Right Said Fred is... Are they the I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt people?
I don't know.
Because I know a lot of people were up in arms about Look What You Made Me Do about I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt. But that's for that episode, which we'll get to eventually. So this song is about a country girl that's all hard eyes for a guy in London.
Did you write that? Or is that from Wikipedia?
I'm pretty sure that's a me quote.
Love that.
But who's to say? Because, again, I wrote these a week and a half ago. So Taylor said about this, I just kind of wrote about basically what it was like to basically be like, she really said basically twice.
Basically.
Bye, guys.
Easter egg.
I'm going to go here for a long time. But also like mood. I went to London once and my heart is there. I loved it so much. And I've just been dreaming of the day to go back. But unfortunately, money.
I went to London and I was like, this is like New York City, but British.
Really?
I felt more neutrally about it. I liked it. I wore this outfit because I wore it in London.
Oh, really? I
wore this to Westminster Abbey, except I had a t-shirt on under my jumpsuit.
You went to Westminster, me?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a bunch of dead people there.
Oh my God.
That's what it's famous for.
I know.
It's like a mass grave.
I just wasn't expecting it. Okay. Whew. All right. So now we'll get to critical reception. It was mixed. Royson O'Connor of The Independent called it one of the most divisive tracks of Lover, adding that a lot of Brits are taking issues with the lyrics as they're essentially a tourist's guide to where not to visit in London. Many people think it's one of the weakest songs on Lover, too bubblegum, too naive, too gimmicky. Yeah.
So they just hate fun, whimsy. They hate being a girly girl. They hate going to Camden Market on an afternoon. I went to Camden Market on an afternoon, and I couldn't stop singing the song to myself in my head. I didn't sing it out loud. And, it was, fuck you.
Sometimes you just want, you want bubblegum night, whatever. You just want that.
Not every song has to be the prophecy,
That's true.
Sometimes you just want to bop.
Sometimes you do just want to bop, but it is what it is. But Kira Leonard of The Music, I thought there was more to that, but it's just The Music, really liked that it was lighthearted and silly. And the quote is that the lyrics were so pure that you want to boop your partner's nose with it or put on, what is this quote? What is this verbiage?
I'm afraid.
It's so pure that you want to boop your partner's nose with or put on when you're feeling down. Oh, okay. I just can't read.
No, it's a little wordy.
It's a weirdly phrased sentence, but I just love that you want to poop. Anyway, bye.
And follow us on TikTok.
I gotta go. Okay. I'm so tired.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So personal connections. This song is a personal attack as someone who has dated several people from England.
Sorry, continue.
Anyway, and the other personal connection is just, hey, remember that time I met Joseph Quinn and I posted a picture and a couple people thought it was a soft launch of a new boyfriend?
I think that's the best thing ever.
That made me so happy on the inside. It's also like a professional, it's like a really, it's not natural.
If anything, it would be a hard launch.
Yeah, that would be a very hard launch.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Who thought it was a soft launch? It's you. It's both of your full faces.
I don't think I said his name in the Instagram post. I was just like, he's so sweet for real. So I guess I get it. I mean, he is so sweet for real.
I'm obsessed with, I hope at least one person out there didn't get corrected on it and now is just convinced that you're dating Joseph Quinn. And they saw a billboard and they were like, damn, Abby, get it.
They saw a Quiet Place prequel and they were like, oh my goodness, no way. Ugh, I wish. In another life, perhaps. All right. Now we're going to get into the lyrics after all that. So Taylor also said that a common misconception about this song is that it takes place in one day when really it's over 3 years. Oh, that was interesting. All right. So it starts with, we can go driving on my scooter, just riding in London. She is really upgraded from her skateboard, Betty.
I like the implication that she's James there.
James loves a London boy.
That would make me like him more, yeah.
Anyway, get to the first verse. I love my hometown as much as Motown. I love SoCal. In King of My Heart, she says, you move to me like I'm a Motown beat. Motown is the nickname for the city of Detroit. It's the home of Motown Records. I can't speak English. I'm so sorry. They worked famously with Michael Jackson and Marvin Gaye. So very, very popular places. And then Southern California, she had a home in Beverly Hills for a while. So she's just talking about these different places. Like, I love them. We know that it's because she's going to say, because I love London. That's just what this whole preface is.
She's just like, before I say I love London, I'm not saying I hate the U.S.
Right. She's like, I do love America, but hear me out. In it. So...
sorry, the way you just said that, now I'm mentally singing the end of the chorus of Delicate, but instead of in it.
I think
Delicate. But said in a British accent that I can't do.
Oh gosh. All right. I love Springsteen, Faded Blue Jeans, Tennessee Whiskey. All right. So the first line was more big city life, and now we're moving into more like down to earth rock with Springsteen. Tennessee Whiskey is also a song by Chris Stapleton.
And also a whiskey that you can consume if you hate yourself, I guess. Whiskey's yucky.
But something happened. I referenced Change by Joe, where something's happening to me. I heard him laughing. I saw the dimples first, and then I heard the accent. Hearing people laugh is so charming.
True.
It's just so charming. There's something so wonderful about seeing and hearing people genuinely laugh.
Yeah.
Love that.
And you don't laugh with an accent.
You don't. That's true.
Laughter is universal.
I was going to try to make a bit about laughing in an accent. I don't think I can. Like, ethically.
I was thinking of how when, like, people who speak Spanish, like, type haha, they do J's because
they do. They go, yeah.
So that's as close as laughing in an accent as we can come.
That's true. All right. Also, like, let's just talk about the fact that I think there's something, like, biological in Americans that makes us love English accents.
Yeah, we yearn for the monarchy. We're just like, life was simpler when we were the colonies. Okay, I'm going to say it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you nailed it. I have nothing to add about that. I was going to say it just like, I don't know, words sound neat, but that works too. In the song Gorgeous, you should take it as a compliment that I got drunk and made fun of the way that you talk. It's actually really hard for me when I'm talking to someone with an accent to not emulate it in ways. It's like really hard for me. And it's not me making fun of them. It's just that it's like I just start parroting. It's like a chameleon urge.
That's actually like a common thing. You'll see that like I know Millie Bobby Brown always gets stuff about how like she doesn't sound British enough. But if you watch her like talk to people, when she's speaking to other British people, she has a stronger accent, and when she's speaking to American people, it goes away a little bit because of that like subconscious like need to mimic. So it's not even it's a thing. It's not just you.
Yeah, which I think is so interesting. And I know it's not just me, but it is like embarrassing for me because I'd rather not. I don't want anyone to think I'm making fun of them. I'm not. Yeah. But it's like almost just natural to try to speak like the people you're around. Also, I love this fun fact. Gillian Anderson, she's in Sex Education. She's the mom and also X-Files. I think the term is bidialectical. So she has both accents. Like she's English accent and American accent, and she switches between them.
Huh.
Yeah. I think it's because she was like raised in both places or something like that.
So it's like naturally both of them come to her. It's not like she has to go to a dialect coach for one or the other.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I think in X-Files she has an American accent, Sex Education, English.
That's cool.
I love you, Gillian Anderson, the queen that you are. They say home is where the heart is, but that's not where mine lives.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
Another visual bit for the audio podcast.
Listen, you can watch the YouTube
if you want. Yeah. So back to the personal connection. When I went to London, just immediately feeling at home there. I have no idea why. Like no idea. I just loved it there so much. I did feel the same way about Seattle though. So maybe I just like traveling. Who's to say?
You just like big cities.
I didn't like Paris.
Like we weren't in Paris.
I think Paris is beautiful. It's just that I am an American in Paris, and you know
they don't like us there.
No, and like they have every right not to like us. We're kind of annoying, and like we don't know anything, and we don't know how to speak the language. So,
however, I do think it's really funny that people were trying to pickpocket Americans during the Olympics, and the Americans were just like doing violence back, and so they stopped pickpocketing Americans.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like somebody tried to pickpocket a 6'6" guy from Texas, and he
dear.
launched him down a flight of stairs.
Whoa.
And then another guy brought like 20 of these fake wallets that when you tried to open them, they would just zap you. And so he kept getting pickpocketed, and the people kept getting electrocuted. Which, like, okay, don't do crime, and then you're not going to get electrocuted. Problem solved.
Oh, man.
So just some tips if you're going to Paris and you're a tourist.
Yeah.
Be 6'6" and
bring laser wallets, I guess. What?
I think they might have banned them after that guy.
Probably.
He brought like 30.
That's so wild.
And he like went to places and looked like a tourist, so he would get pickpocketed. So he was trying to do some vigilante. He was on his vigilante shit.
He was. Wow. All right. So, and back to
everybody
the song.
from Paris stopped listening.
I know.
I'm sorry. My mom said Paris is her favorite city that she's ever visited. So
it was so beautiful and so like what a lovely, incredible
we'll go
place.
there eventually. The Orient Express.
Oh yeah.
Starts from there.
Oh yeah.
So
in this case, back to the song. In this case, she's once again comparing her lover to the feeling of home, like she does in Long Story Short with And He Feels Like Home. And we get into the chorus. You know I love a London boy. We do know that.
We've been new.
I enjoy walking in Camden Market in the afternoon. It's a big tourist attraction, Camden Market.
It's also got the first ever Doc Martin store.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. The OG.
I went to Camden Market once, and here I'm going to tell this story because I don't have too much to say about these lyrics. So basically, I went to London. I had an overnight flight where like I'm in coach seats. I didn't sleep very much on the overnight flight. And then in the morning, it was like 4 p.m. here, but like 10 a.m. there. So I ended up staying up all day there in London and then going out to the club that night for some reason. And then I had to wake up at 8 a.m. to go on a 4-mile walking tour of London. Things you can only do when you're like 25 years old.
Yeah.
And after that, people were like going on the London Eye. We stopped at the Camden Market, doing all sorts of things. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to the hotel and sleep because I was with a tour group. I traveled by myself, but with a tour group. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get home. I can figure out the tube by myself. I'm an independent woman. Mind you, my phone is a brick outside of the US. Like I can't use it. So I had to use like maps on the wall.
At least the tube is easier to navigate than like the subway in New York.
Tube is very easy because I actually figured it out.
And also like every track on the tube, there's one train coming and it goes one place. In New York, the subway, it's like there could be one of 7 trains coming. And will it be the one that you want? Maybe
not.
Probably not. Maybe it'll be an express and we'll just skip this station entirely.
Yeah, that system has its issues. This one was pretty good though. And I found the right train that would take me back to my hotel, and I was like, yeah, strong, independent woman, woo. But I'm so tired. And I get on there like mind the gap. I get on the tube, and there's a guy with an empty seat next to him, and it's the kind of seats that fold up. And so he goes to push it down so that I could sit next to him, which is very nice of him. And so I go to sit down next to him, and then the train starts moving. And so I like sort of trip over myself a little bit. You're going to hate the story. I'm so sorry. Trip over myself, basically onto this man. I know you're going to hate it. It's fine. Everyone had a laugh. Palm. I know. I'm sorry. I stand up and I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry, dude. Are you okay? He was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. He had let go of the seat though, which I didn't realize. So when I went to sit on the seat, I fell to the floor. Fell to the floor. There were 2 teenage girls who laughed at me, which they had every right to. That was funny. I think I laughed too.
That's fair. I think that I would actually I would laugh so hard that then I'd be so tired I'd start crying.
Right. Well, I didn't cry. Instead, I laughed, and then I said, I'm going to stay down here until the tube stops. And then and they were like, that's for the best. And then I got home and I took a nice little nap.
You know what? You're a real tough kid. You can handle your shit.
I was. I love that story.
You gotta fake it till you make it, and you did.
I did, because it's like, who
lights, camera, tube, floor.
I'm like, who would that happen to if not me? That is.
I saw this TikTok this week that was like everybody has a sitcom friend where it's just your friend where like random shit just keeps happening. Like they just keep having all these side quests happen to them. Like they're not going on side quests; the side quests are coming to them, and that's you.
That's me, because that's my life. That's how it be for me. Oh, man. All right. He likes my American smile. Do Americans have a specific kind of smile? I don't think they do.
You never fully dress without a smile. Do, 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 do.
Maybe it's like
from
that
Annie.
meme. Right.
I know. I'm telling the viewers at home.
Oh.
This is going places.
All right.
We're not just hanging out with microphones.
Could have fooled me. All right. Like
Sorry,
a child.
You were saying something else, and I just.
Oh, I was going to mention a meme. It doesn't even matter. All right.
Fair
so, like a child when our eyes meet, once again, comparing love to the childlike feeling, which she does often. Darling, I fancy you. In King of My Heart, she says, say you fancy me, not fancy stuff.
Little British.
Little British. It's very English when they say, do you fancy or like I fancy you. It was really hard for me to keep an American accent while saying that, by the way. But I did it because I'm strong and I'm brave.
You're so brave. God gives his toughest battles to his bravest soldiers.
Oh gosh. Okay. Took me back to Highgate. Met all of his best mates. Apparently Highgate is a very expensive village in North London. So she's like meeting his friends, hanging out, being rich, super relatable. Am I right?
I love being rich.
I love going to rich villages in foreign countries. I do it often. As much as I'm able.
Often. As much as I'm able, which is never.
All right. So I guess all the rumors are true. You know, I love London Boy. Because at the time, everyone was always talking about how she kept dating English guys. I mean, there were articles about just like all the English guys she was dating.
It's just two. It's just Harry Styles and...
I mean, there was like speculation, blah, 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 blah. But for whatever reason, that's what the tabloids were saying.
Because they're little bitch asses.
And then she came out with this song and she was like, yeah, no, that's true. I do love it. Actually.
Confirmed. I love my boyfriend.
And you would
blown.
too. Now we get into the second verse. You know, I love high tea, stories from uni and the West End. More things that you can do in England. High tea is not just tea, as I've learned. It's like also food and like pastries. And
it's a whole spread.
It's a whole thing. It's actually delightful. Have you ever had it?
I didn't do it when I went to London because it was expensive and like no one else in my family really wanted to do it. But I did go, I saw Hamilton on the West End, which is, I think, the most ironic play to see. Honestly, because I'd seen like a touring version in the US and the places where people laugh in the US and the places where people laugh in the UK are not the same because they're like when they're making fun of King George and stuff, me and my family are like laughing and everybody else is like everybody else was laughing, but like not in the way that we were, or like there's certain jokes that were about American history that people just like didn't understand.
Right. That's so fascinating.
Right.
Wow.
Like British people don't know about like the Boston Tea Party for the most part. Because like Ed Sheeran was on Jake Shane's podcast and Jake Shane was like, well, you know, the Boston Tea Party. And Ed Sheeran was like, I wasn't invited.
You know what? Me neither.
Me neither. But we will be when we do it on Brienne's Bachelorette. We're going to throw tea in the harbor. That is a set in stone. If nothing else happens, we are doing that.
Oh, man. That's going to be... I'm excited.
As am I.
Oh gosh. All right. Uni is how they talk about college, short for university. Because I think college is like high school or something. I don't know how the school system works.
I think it's like something where like you do your A levels and then you get into like college course, and college is like junior, senior year in the US, and then you go to uni.
Right. That makes sense. All right. You can find me in the pub. We're watching rugby with his school friends. This is the most English. She's just saying all the English things.
She's just hitting
She's
English
like England,
bingo.
England.
She's like, I've been to England. She's like that kid that studies abroad and then comes back and it's just like, oh my gosh, should we go to the pub? And then she's like, I'm sorry, I mean the bar. I've spent so long in London.
What did you study at uni? Oh, that means college. I studied in London. That is low key.
She's like, do you know what rugby is?
Have you ever heard of rugby? I have been to a London pub as well.
As have I.
It's fun. The pub culture is fun.
It is.
I want to go to one in Ireland.
Yeah.
All right. Show me a gray sky, a rainy cab ride. She loves talking about how cloudy it is over there.
She's like, it doesn't ever get sunny, and I love it, except for when I personally went to London and they had a fucking heat wave and it was 90 degrees every day. 90 degrees full sun every day for the 5 days that I was there. I was like, I thought it was supposed to be cool and rainy. I was hoping for cool and rainy. I didn't get cool or rainy.
That's rough. That's rough. Well,
it was real rough.
I don't have anything to say about that other than that's rough.
Yeah.
I know when I was in Italy, it was very hot, and that was hard for me to adjust to because there's like no AC.
Yeah, as in London especially, there was no AC anywhere. Luckily, our hotel had AC. Otherwise, I think I would have expired.
All right. And then she says, "Babe, don't threaten me with a good time."
I thought it was babes.
Babes? Did she say babes?
I think she says babes. Like,
it's so possible because we all know that I'm bad at.
Well, because you know how like that's like British slangs, like babes don't threaten me with a good time.
Which I say all the time. I say babes all the time.
Really do screw this, babes.
But I do also have several friends that are in England.
That's fair.
So I feel like I know some of the slang. All right. This is me just like appropriating this whole episode. I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. I really don't have that many notes.
Okay. It just reminds me of the Panic at the Disco song for Don't Threaten Me With a Good Time. Or Taylor also said that her British friends said that phrase a lot. They say home is where the heart is, but God, I love the English. I forgot about this. Okay, so we have another a moment from the writer at Genius.
Okay.
So the person on Genius made a note on this line, and all they said was, "Ya boy's got that British accent." That's it. That's all the note said. And then apparently they got a lot of hate about it because then there was an edit. There was an update. And they were like, "Sorry, guys. I made that as a joke. I didn't realize some people would get offended, but also I'm not going to take it down until someone else replaces it with something else." Like this whole thing is just on Genius.
Obsessed with the Genius drama when it's like unofficial comment and they make it really clear this isn't from Genius official. This is from Ingenious.
Ingenious. I just love how your boy's got that British accent. It's literally...
And then they got hate for that.
I know, because it doesn't even have the A. Instead of the A, it's an apostrophe. Accent. So I keep saying it like that. I was like, what? Okay, this person... kind of an icon for
just
that.
let somebody let them do bits and pieces.
True. All right, we get back to the chorus, except now she says, "I enjoy nights in Brixton, Shoreditch in the afternoon. They're more touristy districts that people can go to."
She goes in the afternoon because who goes to touristy places in the afternoon? Tourists.
Exactly.
Like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that was okay.
4 out of 10 at best.
That's what I was going to say. I was literally about to rate it 4 out of 10.
I can do better. All right.
I know you can. That's why I was giving it a 4.
Okay. We get to the bridge. "Please show me Hackney. Doesn't have to be Louis V up on Bond Street." It's another expensive place to go. I think I did see it in person, but that might have been in Paris. I know that I saw this like designer store in Paris, and I was like, "Wow, I do not belong here. I gotta go.
I gotta go."
And then, according to Genius, Hackney is more like raw and authentic compared to the more expensive places. So she's saying, "Please show me Hackney. It doesn't have to be expensive." Like the next line, "I just want to be with you." Wow. Why did I do that?
I'm afraid.
So again, she brings back that the feeling of home is where you are. And then I brought up, I can go anywhere I want, just not home.
Get out of my house.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That
is a crime. That was a crime that I did that. I know.
Take the microphone away.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then like a Tennessee, Stella McCartney on the Heath. So
you left me by the Heath?
No!
Uno, reverse the hurt.
Now we've both hurt each other tonight.
I just died in your arms tonight.
So Stella McCartney is the daughter of Paul McCartney. She's a British fashion designer. They collaborated on a limited edition clothing line for Lover.
I didn't know Stella and Paul McCartney were related until... Are you for real?
I think so. Now I'm doubting this.
Oh my God, she is.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Okay.
How did I not know this?
I don't know. I love that for Stella and for Paul.
I love a little Stella moment.
We get the final chorus. The only change is I enjoy walking Soho, drinking in the afternoon. I did go to Soho. Highlight of London. Loved that place so much. And then that's also around where GAY is, the club, but they wouldn't let me in because I'm not gay enough. I'm kidding. I was just too full.
That's So funny.
Yeah,
that was I remember the only thing that I know, the reason why I know what GAY Club is because Little Mix performed there.
Yeah.
And Perry wore like a full body latex bodysuit.
Nice.
And then she told us, she went on like some talk show and she was like, yeah, like I thought it was so fun. Like I was going to like wear it home. And this was when she was engaged to Zayn Malik. And she was like, I wore it home for my fiance and then we couldn't get it off. Like it was stuck on.
Yeah, dude.
Because she was like, I didn't think about the fact we had to lube me into it.
Oh no.
Because it was like a full like latex.
Yeah.
And to put those on, you have to like lube yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Wow. Wild.
So that's just a little fun fact for you.
She would have been so sweaty too.
Yeah.
So on that note, that is the end of London Boy. Discussion question. Do you love a London Boy?
No.
That's because you're a lesbian.
Yeah. Platonically, I love a couple.
Okay.
Love Harry Styles.
True.
Love Joseph Quinn.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you support me.
I'm trying to think of another British man.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, love Andrew Garfield.
We love Andrew
Garfield. And Tom, Zendaya's Tom
Holland.
Yeah.
There's also Hiddleston.
I do also like Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice. Actually, I don't know if who's from London and who's not.
London as a concept.
Who English, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Come back. Be here. This is track 18 on Red and Red Taylor's version. It was written by Taylor and Dan Wilson. He co-wrote a lot of hits, including Closing Time by Semisonic, which he was in Semisonic.
Whoa.
He also co-wrote Not Ready to Make Nice by The Chicks and Someone Like You by Adele and like a bunch of other songs. I was like going through his Wikipedia and then I was just like, this is a rabbit hole that I don't have time for.
Wow, that's really cool.
So he's a great songwriter and they wrote the song, which is great, but it's Not Ready to Make Nice. You know what I mean?
Not Ready to Make Nice. I think about that song often.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
And it was also produced by Dan Wilson. This song has only been performed 3 times. I will say I wrote this before the London shows, and now I'm trying to remember if Come Back Be Here was played in...
I think it was.
She did not play this in this London time.
Really?
She did not.
I really thought she did.
I thought so too.
Huh.
But I don't think Today would lie to me.
You don't think so?
She played Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, which is also from Red, so maybe that's what you're thinking. And also she played Everything Has Changed. She played a bunch of Red songs, but not this one.
Huh.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because she mentions London, but it's not like about London. In fact, it's about not wanting someone to be in London.
True.
So this has only been performed 3 times live ever. On the Rep Tour, it was a surprise song on August 4th, 2018 in Toronto. And then it was also a surprise song on May 12th, 2023 in Philly.
She did play it.
She did?
Yeah.
Today Lied to Me?
Yeah. It's 2 months ago, I guess.
Oh, yeah. She played it in Melbourne. Oh, no. She played... Oh, wait. Did she play it in the last set of London shows?
It was...
oh, she did. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So she's played it 4 times.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. She mashed it up with The Black Dog...
And
Maroon, which isn't a choice that she made.
Right.
And that was on June 21st. I'm like adding this to my notes as if I'm going to come back to them. Actually, I will.
Well, because we're going to upload them to the
true.
Patreon.
That's true. She also played this May 12th, 2023 in Philly. I believe it was Philly Night 1. And then February 18th, 2024 in Melbourne, Australia. And then June 21st, 2024 in London, mashed up with The Black Dog and Maroon, as we all totally knew. And we're all on the same page the whole time. I don't really have that many personal connections to this. I don't remember listening to this when I was in long distance relationships, but I'm certain that I did because this is like the long distance relationship song. Overall, it's just about like meeting somebody, falling really hard, really fast, and then they leave. And then you realize after they've like left to go do whatever that you fell really hard, really fast. And you were supposed to just have a fling and then you didn't.
Ain't that just the way?
Ain't that just the way? Right into the lyrics. He said it in a simple way, 4 a.m. the second day. I like this a lot as an opening because it's just, they're being like honest with each other. They're saying things plainly in a simple way, but also it's like 4 a.m. the second day. It's like, well, clearly the first day they spent together and then now it's the second day and they're still together because obviously 4 o'clock in the morning isn't when you're like meeting up unless you're a psychopath.
Unless the time zone's already happened. Has he left already?
No.
Oh.
Would that, like, I interpret it as like they meet, I don't know, like they meet on a Friday and they're getting lunch together and they're having such a good time that they hang out the whole time and then they just stay up all night talking and hanging out, and then 4 a.m. the second day says, how strange that I don't know you at all. Is it love bombing or is it just sleep deprivation and insta love? Who's to say? I mean, it's giving love bombing a little bit.
Interesting.
I mean, not that line specifically, but like spending that much time together, to me, red flag.
It can be, or sometimes it's not. It's depends.
But also, yeah, how strange that I don't know you at all, and like that thing where you meet somebody and you like have this instant connection and you say all this stuff and then you're like, but I don't actually know you. Like I only know the version of you from the last like 24 hours. One last kiss, then catch your flight. It's like the happy alternate version of Last Kiss, where running off the plane and kissing, it's instead of that, it's kissing and then getting on the plane and leaving.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little Uno reverse moment.
So much Uno reverse happening.
Right when I was just about to fall. It's like they're having this whole little like flirty situationship fling moment, and then before leaving, neither of them confesses any sort of feeling because she's like, I was about to fall, but like I hadn't yet.
Right.
So then like she told herself, don't get attached. And honestly, she's so real for this because trying to have a fling and then immediately catching feelings is the realest thing ever.
That's usually
just
how
like,
it goes.
I'm just going to be so casual and so cool about this. And then you're like knee deep in the passenger seat. Is it casual now? But in my mind, I play it back, spinning faster than the plane that took you. Why does this sound like a plane kidnapped Harry Styles? Or whoever the song is about. But like the way that she used the verbiage is so grammatically like incorrect.
I was thinking there's something wrong with that plane.
Like the plane took him and ran. Spinning faster than the plane that took you. Like also, yeah, there was took you. It's just like
it's just flying weird. What the helicopter?
Hey, that's British.
It is. It's like the plane is like one of those big birds that just picked him up in its talons, its airplane talons.
The airplane talons.
I'm gonna have so much fun photoshopping that this weekend. All right, continue.
But also, like, just the use of verbs is weird but it also gives the impression that like he didn't want to leave. The plane took him. Like he had to get on it, obviously, in order for it to take him, unless it had little plane talons, as Alfred mentioned. I was trying to just keep going and I can't. But like he didn't want to get on the plane and go, but like had to for work or whatever. And that's when the feeling sinks in. I don't want to miss you like this. Come back. Be here. Come back. Be here. I don't know why I said all of those lines at once when I have notes on like the different. Anyways,
well,
and this is when the feeling sinks in. Like she has this moment of realization as soon as he leaves that she isn't going to be able to just like drop this and move on and be casual about it. Like she doesn't want to feel this way, but that's not stopping her. Come back, be here. Come back, be here. Oh, that terrible voice break. I promise I can sing sometime. I'm doing line edits on my book right now, and one of the things that I didn't know grammatically was a thing, and so my editor had to fix it like so many times in this book, is that when you use like the little ... I know they have a name and I don't know what it is. Thank you. Ellipses. You're supposed to put a space before the ellipses and after it.
Before and after?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Someone tell Taylor. Because she didn't do that. Oh, bro. The way that I didn't even know how many things I was fucking up until she was like, yeah, bad. She just started highlighting words when I would use two words close to each other. She'd be like, I'm just going to highlight them throughout the document because you do it a lot. And I was like, Renee, calling me out and making me a better writer. How dare you?
Oh, but the book's going to be so good though.
I'm so excited. Anyways, she's out here wishing that he would come back to her and not just that she could go to him. And I figured out why I think later, but just interesting that like she doesn't want to go to him. She wants him to come to her. Queen. I guess you're in New York today. Like, did he not tell her? Or did he
I guess not.
Did he say I'm in New York today? And she's like, well, I guess you're in New York today. Like, what is the tone here? I don't know.
Huh. I don't know. But it might have been like the flashing lights, the paparazzi, and that's how she found out again.
Oh, true.
She talks about in other songs.
Maybe she saw it. Yeah, maybe she saw online that he was in New York and like they'd been talking and she's like, I didn't know you were in New York. I'm in New York. Or I'm nearby and I could have come, but like you don't want to be weird about it. I don't want to need you this way. That's so real when you're like an independent girly and you have a crush and you're like, I don't like this. Yeah. Or like I've heard from like a couple of friends, and like people online about when you get into a relationship and then you don't have to be like so independent all the time. But that's not what this is about. That's just a little side note. The delicate beginning rush.
In it.
But like, yeah, the beginning of a relationship is very delicate, especially when you're in like a high pressure situation, like being a celebrity where everybody has a parasocial relationship with you and they're obsessed with your life and think that they're your friend even though they aren't. And we need to stop being so weird about celebrities. Thinking about Chappell Roan again.
Yes.
But like that beginning of a relationship has this like magical quality because it's like you have a crush, but then you're also really anxious because like what if it works out, but then what if it does, but then everything's going to change either way. And that's the delicate beginning rush. But also it reminds me of Gold Rush. I don't like that falling feels like flying till the bone crush. It's like one of that. Anytime I think about that lyric, I just have to like sit and think about it for a couple minutes because I'm like, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, that's a great lyric.
But yeah, it's like when you first meet someone, you have like a crush on them and you're like obsessed and you're just like can't stop thinking about them and you're like hanging on to every detail that you have about them and you don't know like what's important and what's not. So you're like, I know their coffee order and I know this and that, and it's like, well, their coffee order changes every other week, but you've only known them for 3 days, so you don't know that,
right?
And it's like you hold on to these little details because you're like, I know about you, but like you don't know them at all. That note was also for the next couple lines because it's a delicate beginning rush, the feeling that you can know so much without knowing anything at all, because it's like you don't actually know anything about this person, but you feel like you do, and that's almost as good.
Yeah, I mean it's a rush.
It is. And now that I can put this down, if I had known what I know now, I never would have played so nonchalant. Like she played it so cool and she was like very chill and like, yeah, this can just be a fling. But now that she has feelings, she regrets being like a cool girl because if she had said something about having feelings earlier, then it could have been reciprocated. But now she's like, I've put up this whole facade of being like cool and chill, and so now if I try to be like, I want to come hang out with you and wherever you are, it's gonna seem crazy.
Yeah.
Taxi cabs and busy streets that never bring you back to me. This makes me think of like there have been times where I was like in a long distance relationship or like just away from my partner or something, and you're like, haha, it would be so crazy if my partner just like showed up to surprise me today. And then you're like, and then you hurt your own feelings because like it was never going to happen, but you convince yourself that like it could possibly happen, but then you can't even be mad about it because like you convinced yourself of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very fun. Totally would recommend it.
It's like the Black Dog. We were talking about how she's just hurting her own feelings in that song.
Exactly. I can't help but wish you took me with you. And this is like the moment where I was like, oh, okay. So the reason why she wants him to come back is because she knows with like the cool girl, I don't care persona that she's been putting on, she can't just show up because she'll look crazy. But also like she's saying that she wants to go with him. She wants to go wherever he is. Doesn't want to be weird about it. But like so she wants him to come back because she knows she can't make the first move. Right. But if he came back, she would be really happy about it.
It's interesting because like he might be feeling the same way, but we don't know.
Exactly. It's so crazy how they could just talk about it.
It's so crazy. Can you believe that sometimes what solves things is a conversation?
Ugh.
But conversations are really hard, actually. Talking about your feelings is really difficult.
That's true.
That's why these songs are written.
Yeah. And then the chorus happens again. The only change is instead of, I guess you're in New York today, I guess you're in London today. And then the bridge. This is falling in love in the cruelest way. Casually Cruel in the Name of Being Honest of All Too Well is also on the same album. So
sure.
Another Cruel mention. And of course, Cruel Summer with You. Like, and that also is about like being afraid to have feelings in a relationship and being afraid that your feelings are stronger than the other person's. And like, again, Taylor knows that falling in love should be like magical and fun, but because there's distance, it introduces a cruelty to the relationship because she can't be as like immersed in falling in love as if she was actually there, like in person, because when you're apart, like you kind of, when you don't really know somebody and then you like meet them, have a little crush, whatever, then separate, like you just start like mentally filling in the gaps about them and almost like writing your own version of who they are. And like maybe they'll live up to it, but 9 times out of 10 they're not going to live up to it, and then you're just going to be like upset because you convinced yourself that they were like this type of person. They turned out to be that type.
That trap of like falling for the idea of a person.
Yeah. New York, be here. There was a ... in the middle, so I paused. And this kind of like almost hints that she missed him in New York. Like he was in New York and then went to London, and she was somewhere else and went to New York, and they ships passing in the night didn't actually see each other.
Interesting, yeah.
But you're in London, and I break down because it's not fair that you're not around. That 5-hour time distance will get you. And also, you know, she's very real for this because the rush of having a crush, again, it's the best. And then realizing that they're not there and you can't like hang out with them and see the vibe.
Yeah.
Because like, as we all know, like a phone call or a FaceTime is that's a high level commitment.
Sure.
I'm not FaceTiming or calling someone on the phone that I like might have a situationship with.
Right.
Like there needs to be a ring. The last chorus happens. None of the lyrics change, but I highlighted because when she does the like, and I don't want to need you this way, like the riff that she does there, I don't want to need you this way. It's so good and I love it. So I just called it out because I just love that part of the song. And that's it. I really didn't have a lot of notes for this one. My discussion question is, what do you think of long distance relationships?
I think they're challenging. I did technically have one with the guy in England.
Oh my God, I forgot about him. I know. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like, I also wish I could.
No. He was lovely. It wasn't that. It was just like long distance relationships are different because it's like, it was actually pretty similar. We went on like 2 dates and then he went back to England. And it's really hard to maintain a relationship and figure out what you are after that. And then the relationship that you really build is all done virtually. And there's something about being with a person like in the same room physically that contributes to a relationship. So then eventually when we did see each other again, it was like a different relationship than what we've established.
Yeah.
And so it was just sort of strange. So it wasn't a problem. It didn't end, tragically or anything. But that's so funny that both of these songs, I'm just like, yeah, I've got a story about that.
I feel like that. I feel like my only long distance relationship, at the end of it, I was like, ooh, I'm a lesbian. So really being in a long distance relationship just prolonged me thinking I was attracted to men for like several months.
I see. Well, what do you guys think of long distance relationships?
Did they make you gay? I'm kidding. I was gay before that. I just nobody told me. Nobody told me. They were like, she'll get there on her own.
I didn't know. My gaydar was not what it is
You
now.
didn't even know you
didn't know anything. I was only 19. 18, 19.
And so our hint songs for next week.
Yeah, I actually have one this time.
Oh, slay. What is it?
It's Fight Song by Rachel Platten.
And mine is Why Did You Invite Me to Your Wedding by Kevin Atwater.
Okay. A couple of little housekeeping things before we let you go today. We're going to do our first little fundraiser moment at Swift Floor for October for breast cancer awareness.
Yes, it's a cause, I was going to say near and dear. That doesn't feel like the correct wording. Breast cancer is something that a lot of my family members have had before, so it's a cause, like raising money for awareness and research is something that I think is really important.
Yeah, and we want to do this a few times with different organizations, different causes. And so we're going to pick a local charity, and then we're going to encourage people to donate that month. And then also anything we earn from the Patreon that month, we're also going to donate. So if you join the Patreon, then your money's going to go to that cause, which will be really great. So we definitely want to do more of that, and it'll start in October. And we don't have the charity picked out yet, but we'll let you guys know.
We're going to pick something that's local to us because just in general, when you're doing donations that probably aren't going to be super big, choosing local charities will make more of an impact than choosing like a national or global charity. So we're still doing some research about which one we want to go with, but we'll probably choose something local to us in Rochester.
Yeah. So that's really exciting. And, we're happy to be doing it. And the Hot Ones challenge will have already happened by the time this episode comes out, but we're going to probably...
a little audio clip of one of us dying here.
Okay, so here's Abby's going to insert an audio clip. That was bad. That was bad.
Oh my God. That's really bad.
So however that went, it sure went. And we've talked about in the past how we're going to put that episode on our Patreon, and we're going to put clips of it also on our Instagram at SwiftFloorPod.
And our TikTok at SwiftFloorPod.
And I also want to thank our Swiftest Tier patrons, Bethany, September, Em, and Ashley.
Editing Abby here, just jumping in to say that we had a Swiftest Tier patron join after we recorded this episode, so thank you to Liam as well.
You're the best. You're
we
the best.
Love you so much.
Yay. Last week you got the applause. This week, my favorite song.
This is my hell. I'm kidding.
You gotta wait for the dog.
But we do have to wait for the dog. That's very important. You guys know the drill. It's dance time. And then... All right.
Crispy high five.
Crispy high five. Did y'all have a dance? Okay.
Bye.
Bye, loves. Oh, we get a nice fade out this time.
Oh, there's more barking. We've never made it this far. Is there going to be more barking? Oh, they had a little guitar riff moment. I need HT Hayes to react to this.
It keeps going.
It keeps going. Oh my God.
How long is this?
Is it supposed to be for like when on a sitcom when like somebody or not a sitcom, like a talk show, somebody walks in and they like fall and then they get up and they keep going? Like, how long is the walk?
Hold on. Wow.
Amazing. Wow. Congrats for making it to the end of this episode because you also made it to the end of that. Why did you mute it?
I don't know.
Anyway,
anyone who's still here, you deserve a gold star. We love you so much.
Bye. It just kept going.
It really did.